Okay, so this is a little bit of a hard video to make, but basically these little eggs right here are in the path of my daily walk, and I saw them one day and I heard a really insistent, I'm going to let you see sort of spring is happening on the walk as I explain this story. So I saw them and I was hearing a really insistent bird, and I was like, where's this bird and what is this bird trying to tell me? And then I noticed this bird right near that nest, just squawking at me. And I was like, oh, okay, you have babies there. Thank you for letting me know. I will give you some distance. And then I was like, I know the people who live on that chunk of land. And so I was like, okay, let me let them know that this is here, because they had just cleared a bunch of bushes right there. And let me maybe have them put some sticks around it or something so that people don't not notice and step on these eggs. So this is an example of, for me, it feels like a metaphor of this tricky balance between trusting God or trusting life and taking action. Okay. So I was like, oh, this bird needs help, okay, was my interpretation. The thing that happened was that the family put a box over this bird nest, okay? They put a little door and some air holes, but I don't know. They also were trying to help, right? And then I saw the box and I was like, ooh, I don't think that's a good idea. That doesn't really seem like a bird would have a box over their nest. Maybe the eggs need sun. I don't know. So I didn't say anything about it because I was like, I've interfered enough. Let's just let it play out. And then a couple of days later, there was a big storm and the box had been blown off. And I noticed the eggs were just sitting there with no adult bird protecting them. And the eggs have been sitting there since. And I'm not a bird scientist, but I'm pretty sure if the eggs don't have someone consistently keeping them warm, they're probably not going to survive. And so then I started feeling guilty, oh man, if I had just left it to the parent bird, they probably could have handled it. I killed these 4 baby birds, right? So in each iteration of this, I am acting as God in my mind, because I'm making the life of the birds completely under my purview. I'm acting like I could save the birds or I could kill the birds. And as we ease out of this eclipse season, I feel like one of the biggest shifts for me is the letting go of the trying energy, and especially with yesterday for 2024 being oh, and look, here somebody was born. And I think those are those are slightly blue, so they might be a robin's eggs. Again, I know nothing about birds. Congratulations, little bird, wherever you are. So, I feel post-eclipse has been a real release of the, I love these yellow ones that come they're one of the first ones that bloom, of this trying energy, this striving, this hard work, and with that, codependency, right? And I feel really excited because a lot of people are talking about codependency, astrologists are talking about codependency, which I think is so cool, because that's the whole 50-15 key, right? Is letting go of this victimhood, which is the basis of codependency. This idea that the bird could be the victim, I could be the savior, and there's some perpetrator that's coming to crush the eggs, and then I turned into the villain and they're the victim, and I interfered with them being able to be saved, and it's just any role that I play on that victim villain perpetrator. I mean, not victim villain. It's victim villain savior, or victim perpetrator savior. Yeah. So I was trying to be the savior at first, then I turned into the villain, right? Any role, if we play the victim, if we play the villain, if we play the savior, we're stuck in any of those roles. Because in any of those roles, we're in this triangle of codependency, right? And when we're able to be like that's the power of the higher power idea, right? Or God or universe or source, whatever you want to call it, is that it removes the need for us to be in this triangle of victim, villain, savior. And when we're like, okay, there's something at work that's bigger than us, that knows more than us, and that maybe doesn't need it to go in a certain way, in the same way with our limited understanding that we do. Like, you know, it's also an example of me choosing an outcome that was better than another outcome. So all of my angst about the bird eggs revolved around me believing that the birds surviving and becoming baby birds was the only acceptable outcome. So if I can release to a higher power, then I'm releasing to like, there's no outcome that's the only acceptable one. Like there's no outcome that's better than the other. Any outcome is fine. So releasing the identification with either victim, villain, savior, and releasing the need for a certain outcome are the two of the ways that we can release this codependency. And I feel like that was a great example of me like getting stuck in that victim, villain, savior cycle and the need for a specific outcome, because it's like every twist and turn of it was stressful and was suffering for me. Whereas if I had been like, oh, hey bird, like seems like you've got yourself into a pickle now that they've removed the bushes, and maybe I could, you know, I'm hoping that person didn't make it on the video. There was just a person running by. Maybe I could help you out. And allowing for the help you out to be like very open-handed. I'm not saying you don't take any action. I'm just saying you make it very open-handed so that's like, maybe this could help, but if not, I trust all outcomes. Whereas I did it like, I'm going to control the situation, I'm going to save you. And then when it didn't work the way I wanted to, I was like, no, I need to control it again, you know? So the alternative to the victim, villain, savior is the empowerment dynamic, which you can look up. And it's challenger, creator, and I'm pretty sure it's coach. So you have like or I feel like it might be like challenger, creator, and coach. I think that's right. So that it's like I could coach you, like I could support you and cheer you on and be like a word of encouragement to you, but I'm not able to save you, right? Like it's all up to you, the creator. And as the creator, like anybody who comes as the challenger is not like, my life is not in their hands in the same way it is when you're a victim and there's a villain coming at you. So the challenger can come at me and I can be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm a creator. I'm going to use that challenge to create something beautiful or meaningful. And then when the coach comes towards me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take what I like and leave the rest. And like, thanks for your support. But I don't need either of them. And I'm not devastated by the presence of either of them. So it's a very empowered place to be because everything that comes at me is now empowering rather than saving or dooming me. So anyways, just some post Jupiter Uranus conjunct thoughts here on codependency as exemplified to me by my interaction with these baby birds. Let me show you all the sun. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Quite a spectacular day today. All right, love you.